beneath the waves, going beneath the waves.
Hello, BTW fam. Heather here, and I have such a treat for you today. I know normally I'm here to talk about PWHL, Seattle specifically, but I have something just really fun for you in the Seattle hockey world that I'm excited to share. So, this season, I am volunteering with the Kraken Sled Hockey team, and I was lucky enough to be at their first practice over the past weekend and got to actually try out a sled and get on the ice and tipped over within 30 seconds, but did get back up and, really enjoyed watching their practice. So I actually was lucky enough to have an interview with Leah Cups, who's one of the team members on the team. And I think you're just really going to enjoy hearing from her, learning more about the sport, and seeing how you can support as they have tournaments coming up. And I am just really excited for you to hear this interview. So, without further ado, here is my interview with Leah Cups from the Kraken Sled Hockey team. All right. Well, I am sitting here with Leah Cups, and I'm so excited to talk to you today, Leah. Leah is a part of the Kraken sled hockey team, and I am going to be volunteering with them this season. So I just wanted to sit down and make sure to get some more information and also learn a little bit about your background. And as you know, I was at your first practice this season and got to get in a sled myself. Took me about 30 seconds before I fell over, and I needed three people to help me get back up.
It's pretty typical.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, please tell me that's normal.
it is normal. Some people never make it back up. So,
Well, at least I got there.
there you go.
And you were so kind to slide over and tell me like this is how you do it. And then I was like, okay, now I feel more empowered of like kind of the structure and how to best maneuver that way too. Because I'm not gonna lie, before I got on, I didn't even think about the possibility of tipping over. Like that hadn't even entered my mind, which probably was good because then I didn't have the fear of it.
Exactly.
Well, Leah, I want to know first, how did you get into hockey?
Ah, so I kind of fell into the sport by way of another sport. So, after I got out of the service, and became sick, I was struggling to find a way to stay healthy, stay fit, and do the activities that I used to love to do, like
Yeah.
hiking and outdoor stuff. And I got the wild hair to do a 5K in a wheelchair. And a team of my friends got together and we did the Seattle hot chocolate
Oh,
5K.
yeah. Love
And
that one.
it was miserable. It was
Yeah.
cold and awful. And my husband had made this cobbled together wheelchair that didn't even make it through the whole race without the frame breaking on those Seattle roads.
Yeah.
But it kind of ignited a fire in me to get out there and do more. And so a friend of mine had donated a what ended up being a basketball wheelchair because they
Okay.
thought it would help. And unfortunately, it wasn't good for what I needed it for. So I reached out to Seattle Adaptive Sports because I knew they had a basketball team, and
Yeah.
I asked them if they could use the chair.
Oh,
And
great.
that's how I got connected with the executive director at the time, Tammy. And she came out to my house and picked up the wheelchair and was talking to me about what activities I like to do. And
Mhm.
I told her I was mostly a independent sports person. I liked races and
Mhm.
hiking and things like that. And she was like, I think you'd be fantastic at hockey though.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, okay, I've never played in a team sport before, but I'll
Yeah.
give her a go.
Sure.
So I showed up November of 2018 to the Thunderbirds Snow King area there,
Mhm.
and I got on the ice and I fell in love.
Oh,
Within 20 minutes, I was absolutely convinced that this was the sport for life. And yeah, it just turned out.
I love that. Hockey does that, doesn't it? It just
Yeah,
somehow just weasels its way in and
it does. It does. You can't have a bad day playing hockey. You just can't.
no, no. So what was that first practice like then?
Very similar to your experience, obviously. Getting out there
Thank
on the
goodness.
ice. The biggest, I'd say, advantage that someone like me or another uh, disabled athlete would
Mhm.
have is that we're more often than not used to not being able to use our legs to get up.
Mhm.
And a lot of able-bodied people, when they get in the sled, their biggest challenge is they want to use their legs and their thighs
Yeah,
to kind of lift them around on the ice. And this is a sport where that just doesn't happen.
can't do it.
So, I already had like the upper body strength to get up off the ice. I just
Yeah.
needed to be shown the mechanics of how to do that. And yeah, so I fell over the first time, popped right back up and took off running. My husband is able-bodied and he took to the ice on the second practice and he spent the entire 45 minutes on his side. He could not get up. So it again, it's some people can get right to it and the mechanics make sense,
Hmm.
and some people just they struggle with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of mental in it too. It's not just your physical ability. It's also
Yeah.
you have to wrap your brain around, okay, this is what it is. This is like the lever. This is it's
Yes.
like a fulcrum and a lever kind of. You have to figure out how to, move your body weight this way. And
Yep.
yeah, once you get that, then I was watching a lot of the skaters go through and would fall over. This is probably you too. Just fall over, right back up.
Yeah.
It didn't take any time at all. It was just part of the motion.
Right. We actually have drills that show you how to fall halfway over and kind of
Mm-hmm.
slide on the bucket and then come back up. It can be
Yeah.
used as a tactic to avoid another player or get around an obstacle on the ice.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
That
we
makes
learn how that finite control over the balance works both in the
yeah.
positive and the negative space.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And I feel like that's such an important part of sports is learning how to fall or fail in any
Yes.
sport, right? So that makes total sense to me.
Yes.
Um, do you find that you have something that keeps, I know you fell in love with the sport, but something that keeps you coming back?
Yeah, I do. So for me, I was in the Marines,
Hmm.
and when I got out and came back to the civilian world, I missed that camaraderie, that sense of tight community that we get in the service. And
Yeah.
the hockey team is by far one of that tightest things that I've ever been involved in. We know each other so well, and there's that innate trust that that person's going to be there no matter what happens. And it's amazing that like I was saying in the beginning, you can't have a bad day. So
Hmm.
if you have a bad week, something happened at work or at home, and you're just frustrated, you get out there on the ice, you bash a couple of pucks into the glass, and it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. You just leave it.
Yeah.
And it just resets that whole week.
Mm.
Next week is just great because
Yeah.
you've cleared out the air.
Yeah, yeah. And I could tell it's a tight-knit group. I really loved seeing that. That to me was just beautiful to watch, even just from the gentle-natured ribbing and
Oh
that sort
yeah.
of, I mean, that
Chirp
to
the chirps are the same
yes.
regardless if you're standing or sitting.
Yep, yep. And it just but it's a good sign of a great group when you have those kinds of things because you wouldn't really chirp someone that you weren't close to, not on the same team. So I love that. I think that's the just it really shows. And I'm sure that translates too to practices and games when you have that community like that too.
Yeah, because it's not just our team community that we have.
Mhm.
We've made friends across the globe
Yeah.
um, through tournaments that we've been with, connections, articles like this,
Mhm.
talking to other people, it's allowed us to kind of step outside of just our area and be more involved on a global scale.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, the women's development team has
Mhm.
finally moved into the
Yes.
the beginning of the Paralympics. And, so that's been a huge effort on every women player across the country.
Yeah.
We've all been involved, supporting, cheering on, helping, with the grassroots end of it. It's been
Hmm.
great.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was part of the community that was bringing the PWHL here as well.
Yes.
So the fact that now we're seeing that on the Paralympic side too, I mean, to me,
I know. I watched the entire World Championship,
oh,
every game. I didn't
oh,
miss a single
I
stroke.
mean,
That was amazing.
that was incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, I talk about goosebumps. Like
Oh yeah.
those are the things that do it for me. Um, Can you tell people a little bit about what might be different in playing in sled versus standing?
Yeah. So a lot of it is identical.
Hmm.
Basic gameplay is all the rules are pretty much right alongside the stand-up hockey. Our regulation periods are only 15 minutes as
Hmm.
opposed to 20.
Okay.
And we have a couple of extra penalties that we can
Hmm.
incur. One of those is T-boning, where you come at the sled at a 90-degree angle. We can't do that. We have to hit at a 45 or less.
Okay.
So part of our later skill drills that we'll do later in the season is helping our athletes learn what that looks like
Mm-hmm.
and how to do it effectively and safely.
Yeah.
Obviously, you saw with our hockey sticks,
Mhm.
we have spikes on the end of both
Yes.
sides.
Yes.
So that's yet another dangerous thing that can be used out there.
Mhm.
We play in full face mask for
Yes.
that exact reason,
Yeah.
because we're just so
Sure.
close to everything that, yeah, injuries are going to happen.
Yeah.
And then we have a specialty athlete that is pushed in a sled.
Hmm.
So they'll have a stand-up player behind them, and they'll have a set of rails on their sled, and that allows them to be pushed so that the athlete can still play with both sticks or even one if they have a limb difference on
Hmm.
one side. But they'll still be able to play in a regulation game. And the rules for them are just the same as for us, only they can't play defense in the triangle of their own goal.
Okay.
But
Okay.
other than that, I mean, it's
Same.
the 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 ways the differences are very small. So
Yeah.
anybody coming and looking at it from a stand-up hockey, they'll be able to pick up exactly what's going
Mhm.
on very quickly.
Yeah. I did notice the player who's being pushed, so I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask, what are the rules there? So that's great to know.
Yep.
That's very cool. Do you have a favorite position? Do you have a position that you play or
I'm one of the defensemen.
okay,
Uh,
awesome.
I've been playing defense probably since my third year.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, okay.
yeah.
And prefer that?
Uh, I mean, I could play just about any position, but
Yeah.
defense is where I fit in the best.
Yeah.
I tend to be a more tactical thinker, so
Hmm.
being in a defensive position and being able to see the ice and have the goalie chirping at me
Yeah.
helps me devise the play.
Yeah. And your goalie is so fun. And like just I also amazing. Very talented goalie. I spent maybe a little too long watching because I was just like I mean I love a good goalie. So
Oh yeah, and he played 30 years of stand up
mhm,
before he was injured and transitioned over,
mhm.
and so we absolutely lucked out by him discovering our program
Ah,
because
yeah,
that was the one position that we struggled to fill for
sure.
so many years of this program. We were borrowing goalies from Canada and
Hmm.
from other teams because we just couldn't find a good fit for us. And John is just he's the bread to our butter.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, yeah, he's very fun also, goalies are kind of their own kind of person, you
oh, there are something
know.
else.
They're kind of their own little brand of weird, which we love.
Yep.
So I love a good goalie. What do you think is the toughest part about hockey?
Ah, yeah, yeah. I think for us, it's we struggle to get consistent team strategy going on.
Okay. Yeah.
Where even though our program's been going since 2014, we've had just high rates of turnover because our area is so new to hockey,
Yes.
that we've struggled to have cohesiveness on the team in order to build those play structures and be at a competitive level.
Mhm.
We're getting there. It's just slow. It's been slow since COVID,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. That's
And
fair.
so coming back in, and obviously we have the added element of our players are oftentimes in and out of hospital visits
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
injuries due to their disabilities. So being able to maintain that athleticism and consistency across the team has been a little bit of a struggle for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that completely makes sense. And I think, in any sort of league, there's going to be that too, but there's added, of course.
Right.
Like just like you're saying. How do you feel like the sport has grown though since you first stepped on the ice? Because I feel like there's just been an
Oh, it's been an
incredible surge.
explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been just an explosion. Again, this wasn't traditionally a hockey area. And with bringing in the Kraken, that kind of just lit a fire in this area. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we've had hockey in here
Hmm.
forever. I mean,
Yeah.
we were one of the original Stanley Cup champions
Yep.
for
Absolutely.
Seattle, but it's just never taken off the way that it is now.
Yeah.
And now even more the addition of the women's hockey league coming in, it's been incredible
Yeah.
to see it from a team standpoint, to see it
Mhm.
from the community growth. It's just been incredible. All right.
Yeah. And I mean, you guys divided the ice up and you had kids on the other side.
Yes.
How has that been growing?
So this
Because
is our first year
oh,
with
okay, okay,
yeah.
awesome. Okay.
Our program finally got funded enough that we were able to begin to build a youth program because obviously they can't use the adult sleds, they're small. They
Yeah,
need
yeah.
all new pads and everything else. So 2 years ago, my husband, who was our team equipment
Hmm.
manager, he was awarded the Hero of the Deep grant from the Seattle Kraken. And so that was a much needed and amazing infusion of money that we could use to buy the youth sleds and get that together. And we've been awarded a couple of other grants last year that helped build on that momentum and get the children involved. And now, I mean, you saw there was, 12, 15
Yeah,
kids out there,
yeah, yeah,
and that's just a huge, huge sign of growth for us.
yeah.
Because,
Growth,
the
desire,
median
want,
age,
need,
yeah, the
all of it.
median age on our adult team is somewhere around 45. So,
Yeah,
we're not going to be out there forever.
yeah.
It's
I
good
think
to
that's
see
what
the
Lee
next
said.
generation
We're
coming.
gonna be nice and split the ice because we have a geriatric team and we need these kids. That made me laugh. But I mean, I think that's great. There were so many kids,
Oh,
and
it was
I
fantastic.
think I think you see it in their face too, just the love for the sport.
Oh, yeah. And, again, especially when you're talking about adaptive sport program,
Mhm.
being able to give these kids something that they can grow to love
Yeah,
or and use for the rest of their lives.
yeah,
It helps them not only stay physical, it helps them grow a community
mhm,
that they may feel very isolated from.
yeah,
It helps them developmentally. There's so much benefit for children to be in sports,
yep,
and just the opportunity is amazing for them.
yeah, yeah. I loved seeing it. It was very cool. What are some things you do to train when you're not on the ice?
Yeah. So amazingly enough, the motion of the pushing in the sled is very similar to rowing.
Mm. Yeah.
So a lot of our athletes, they'll go to the gym and they'll use the rowing
Hmm.
machines. They just won't use the push.
Sure,
They'll
yeah.
use the upper body. Another one is the rope machine, the climb.
Hmm.
I use a hand cycle,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, yeah.
so I have a off-road and an on-road racing cycle. And
That's cool.
so in the spring and summer, when the weather is much more kind,
Yeah.
is I will do anything from 5K to marathons,
Hmm.
and that keeps me in shape for sled hockey and vice versa, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right. Because it's a very physical sport.
It
So
very much is.
yeah, you definitely need to be in shape. And then I can only imagine you just continue building on that as the season goes on too. Yeah. What would you tell someone who's thinking about trying sled hockey for the first time?
Oh, uh, I would
Aside
encourage
from
anyone.
do
Yeah,
it.
I mean, yeah, anyone, able-bodied or disabled, to come out and give it a try
Yeah.
at least. We love to have able-bodied athletes on our team. They bring a level of help and competitiveness that,
Mhm.
we don't always see. We have several, and we always welcome more. We've had a with the help of the popularity from the Kraken, we've
Mhm.
had a bunch of the disabled community that didn't know about adaptive sports until now. We did an exhibition at Climate Pledge during one of the Kraken games. We got out
Mhm.
there on the ice and showed the crowd, what we can do and what we can
Yeah.
bring, and that's been a huge push for our sport.
Yeah. What's something that it's similar question, but a little different. What's something that you would want people to know just about the sport and everything it encompasses, if they're just either watching or that maybe they've never heard of it?
Um, hmm. There's so many.
Oh, then share as many. Share them all.
The first is the level of physicality.
Yeah.
So it's, people have a vision of disabled people in their minds that we can tend to be fragile, or,
Mhm.
and this sport flies in the face of that. We are a full contact sport.
Yeah.
So everything that you see in adult hockey, stand-up hockey, you see it on our ice.
Hmm.
There has been massive hits into the boards, everything to a hockey fight or two.
Hmm.
So all of that can happen at our level as well.
Yeah.
And I encourage anyone that can go to like a regional tournament to go and see the various levels of play. So
Hmm.
like you saw us, and
Hmm.
we're considered a tier 5
Yeah.
team. And the tiers go from 6 all the way up to the Paralympian tier 1.
Hmm.
And the speed and the physicality as you go up in those tiers is utterly breathtaking.
Yeah.
The way that we talk about the tier 1 and Olympians is that they look like a nest of bees on the
Mm-hmm.
ice because they're going
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah.
They're going at speed that stand-up hockey players do,
Hmm.
um, without the ability to be able to skate backwards. So,
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
turns are razor sharp, and um, yeah, it's just incredible and breathtaking to watch. So, if you can watch it on TV, great. If you can see it live, it's even more amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I definitely got a taste of that watching some of the USA women's team because wow.
They're, yeah, exactly.
Wow. I don't even think I could turn as quickly just in general. Like
It
I
takes,
just don't,
it takes
I
years. Yeah, it
I
takes
just don't
years.
it is really something. So I agree. I think more people should watch because it is really something.
Yeah.
Um
And I think the other biggest thing for people to know about our sport that's be a challenge more than anything else is
mhm.
it is expensive. It is
Yeah.
highly expensive
Yeah.
for disabled athletes
Yeah.
to travel to these tournaments, because not only are we, paying for our airfare and things like that, we have to pay for our equipment,
Yeah.
our chairs, um, and all of the adaptive devices that have to travel with us.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is just extra expense.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
and extra complications. I mean, we can't go to a rental agency and get a hand controlled vehicle.
Right.
So you have to fly with hand
Fly
control.
with one. Hmm.
Exactly. So it's
Yeah.
all of those little pieces that maybe people don't think about that,
Hmm.
you know, it shows how passionate and how driven we are
Yeah.
to make our sport
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. So speaking of tournaments, what do you all have coming up? Because I know
Oh,
you
yeah.
quickly have tournaments.
Yes, we do. So in 2 weeks, our some of our teammates are going to Utah for a small tournament that's local to that area. But our biggest home event is coming up on October 12th. We will be facing the Seattle Police Department for the second year to defend our title. Uh, and they're at the Kraken Community Iceplex. And the police department will come and, get on the ice with us. They play a full regulation game with us. And it's always good fun. And
Mhm.
we love to see the crowd sit there and boo and cheer as they will. And then on the 25th, we go up for the first of our home league games. We go up to Surrey
Okay.
and we play the Eagles up there. And then November 8th, we go down to Portland
Mhm.
and play the Portland Winterhawks.
Oh, yeah. 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 So quickly, rapidly, you are
Yes.
thrown in already.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so how can people learn more about going to events and being a part of all of this?
So we have a website dedicated to the Kraken sled team, and
Mm,
that is seattlesled.hockey.org. You can also find out about us on the Seattle Adaptive Sports website on our sled hockey page. That also goes to they match our schedule and make sure that practices are announced and things
okay,
of that
good.
nature. And then we also have a Facebook group for the sled hockey team.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I want to make sure everyone knows how to find you all, and
Oh yeah,
we
we're all over the
I'll
place.
put links everywhere too, so so people can find them easily. Is there anything else that you want just to say before we close up here? This has been amazing. Time flew by chatting with you, so I appreciate your time so much. And maybe we should do another one down the line too, and just see how maybe check in, see how the season's going, do a little
Yeah.
update. That would be really fun. But anything else that you want to share just before we end here?
Oh, I really hope that people come out and bring your family, bring your kids.
Yeah.
Again, just as we love to see able-bodied athletes, we can happily host some able-bodied children if they're
Love that.
interested in giving sled hockey a try, and building those community bonds between disabled athletes and able-bodied athletes. It's a great way to have a little melding pot and really develop kind of that push-pull community that the kids need.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. How fun. How fun to have some more
Yeah.
kids. I just seeing the kids on the ice just oh,
It's great.
it just gets me. It gets me.
It does me too. I absolutely love it. They're such a crack up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too. They're super fun, but yeah. Well, thank you again so much for doing this. I appreciate your time so much, and I definitely I'll see you at practice, and we
Yes.
will definitely let's do another, and we can see how our season's going, and then I'll keep reminding people of tournaments coming up and chances to
Wonderful.
watch you as well, because it's just it's a joy to watch hockey, and it's a joy to watch all of you too. It's such a fun team. Everyone was so welcoming to me too, and I really appreciated that. But I can tell it's a tight knit group. Everyone is just is really amazing. So I really appreciated that part of it too. So thank you. Uh,
Absolutely, Heather. Have a great day.
you too. Bye bye.
Bye.
How amazing was that interview? Leah is so fun, and I loved all of her insights and detailed information about the sport and the team. And I think it's just such an incredible opportunity for you to come and support, especially for that first, exhibition game they have against the SPD. That's on October 12th. It's at KCI, Kraken Community Iceplex. It's at 2:15. So definitely come, bring your families, like Leah said, bring your support, your voices, your signs, all the good stuff, and support your sled hockey team. And, there's going to be more opportunities for you to come and, go to some of these, events and tournaments. And I think that's going to be really fun. But this is just an incredible sport. And if you're looking to get involved, they are looking for participants. And even if you are able-bodied, you are welcome on the team. So I think that that's such a great, she kind of talked about, bridging that gap between disabled and able-bodied participants and having more communication there and more conversations around that. And I think that's something that's really cool. But I just think you're going to love the sport. It is just so fun to watch. It is intense, and I think that it really does deserve our loudest voices and cheers and support. So whether it's just sharing this podcast or attending an event, I know that we all appreciate, you tuning in and listening, and then also sharing this out as well. So again, big thanks to the team for letting me join them on the ice and, outfitting me in a sled and gear for the day. And also just for letting me, I have, took pictures and videos, all of that good stuff too. So just a big thank you for them being so welcoming to me. Big thanks to Leah for her time today just to sit down and chat with me. I just had the best time doing that. And I hope that all of you learned some more about the sport and it piqued your curiosity, maybe come to a practice or a tournament and see what it's all about. But I know that you'll love it and just fall in love with it, especially if you have already fallen in love with hockey. This is this is your next obsession, I promise. But I appreciate you spending some of your day with me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We appreciate all of your comments, your likes, your shares, your retweets, all that good stuff. And, we'll be back in your ears very soon. Until then, you can follow us everywhere at BTW SEA, and we will talk to you soon.
Going beneath the waves, going beneath the waves.